Hello and welcome to Walk the Pod, your daily walking show where I take my podcast for a walk because I don't have a dog. You're very welcome along. This is episode 7, series 60 of the daily walking podcast that tempts you away from your desk to walk in nature for 10 minutes at lunchtime and thusly reconnect with all that is bright and light and nature in the world, giving you a little oasis of calm amidst the stress and anxiety of the work day. Now, not everybody has stress and anxiety in the work day, so it may not be stress and anxiety. It might be, boredom. You need to tell me. My experience of the work day is very much stress and anxiety based, but yours may be very different. So let me know, because I'd like to include some adjectives which cover off more than just my personal experience. Welcome to Walk the Pod. Feeling very, very grateful this lunchtime for your company as I walk in the woods over what seem like a million oak leaves in various different shades of yellows and oranges and browns. I'm having a very stress and anxiety related day at work today, and the walk at lunchtime sometimes just seems like an extension, just a sort of nice little stroll. Today it feels like an oasis of calm amidst a lot of swirling stress. So thank you for listening, thank you for walking with me, and if it's doing anything like as much as it's doing for me for you, then I'm very grateful for that too. This series we're talking about love, and today I wanted to cover Love is Listening. I'm reading Thich Nhat Hanh's True Love. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist leader who wrote this book, True Love, about, well, we've already covered off a few things that he mentions. He mentions how love is about deep looking, seeking to understand those we love in order to love them in the way that works for them. And today I want to talk about how love is listening. Thich Nhat Hanh talks about how he has practiced this deep listening, and in the West we might call it active listening, in which we are present with our loved ones and we are prepared to listen to them for an unusual amount of time. He talks about listening for an hour. He talks about gathering people together to listen to one another. And he talks about how a lot of the time what we want to say is sort of hurried along, dismissed, or talked over by other members of our circle. And how if we want to love somebody, one of the things we can offer is this listening and being prepared to listen and not trying to get our own thoughts in to the conversation when somebody else is talking about something that they're passionate about, or even that they're not passionate about. Just the fact that they want to talk, and we are going to offer them this service, maybe not quite the right word, but this practice of listening deeply, noticing perhaps what we want to say in response, noticing perhaps how sometimes it's difficult to hear people talking in particular ways. We might identify that the way they're responding to a particular thing is not entirely helpful, or that they're not doing themselves any favours, or that somebody else has been unkind to them and we want to lend our solidarity. But Thich Nhat Hanh's emphasis is very much on not doing any of that, not interrupting, not contributing our own experiences of the same thing, not judging, not offering advice, not attempting to fix the situation, but simply listening. And in that way, we are demonstrating true love to our loved one, of our quiet and our receptive space. And Sometimes it does more to say to somebody, I see that you are suffering and I'm here, than it does to say, what you want to do is, have you tried? Now, sometimes that doesn't work out, but think of it as a practice. Sometimes we're going to succeed in our deep listening. Sometimes we're going to find that we've just gone in all guns blazing. We've stormed in our size 9s with advice, or even just an enormous amount of empathy, but a lot of sort of contribution and not so much listening. And what we can do is treat it as a practice. There's no blame for getting it wrong, but if we can keep practicing and get up every day and think, today I'm going to practice my listening and I'm going to do as active listening as I can, and if I identify any bias in what I'm hearing or the way I'm responding to what I'm hearing, I'm simply going to put it to the side. I'm going to say, I acknowledge that there is some bias here in how I am receiving what this person is saying, and I acknowledge that I want to respond in a particular way, or I judge them in a particular way. I acknowledge all of that, and I'm going to take that and put it over here to one side, and I'm going to return to what they're saying and listen. Because quite a lot of our listening, I think, is diminished by our mind being so full of our responses to what they've been saying, or our mind formulating things that we're going to say in response. And if our practice is to not do either of those things, if our practice is to listen and to keep returning to listening, then we improve over time our ability to do that. Now, that's not necessarily the answer. So, your thoughts very welcome, but it's an aspect of love that I thought was, well, just fundamental, really, and profoundly important. But if you have something to contribute on the subject, whether it be on the subject of listening or anything else that love makes you think of, please go to walkthepod.com, press the button marked leave a voice note for Walk the Pod, and let me know what love means to you. What does it feel like? What have you fallen in love with lately? walkthepod.com. What can I see directly in front of me? Honestly, poddies, it is such a oasis in my day to come and walk with you at lunchtime. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. And it's not just the opportunity, it's a commitment. It means that I have to go for a walk at lunchtime. There's no way I would have got out for a walk at lunchtime today if it were not for you, dear friends, so thank you. I'm walking over an ocean of they're not oak leaves anymore, not at all. Can't see a single oak leaf now. Tell a lie, there's one. But I'm walking over an ocean of sycamore leaves, I don't know. I might have this horribly wrong. I'm not entirely sure. If Sam was here, she could say what they are. But they are some kind of non-oak leaves, and there are thousands of them. They're a little bit damp, a little bit wet this lunchtime. I don't know whether I mentioned this on the pod, but we came to the park a few weeks ago, and we came and discovered this competition. We had to walk around the park finding all the silver birch trees. And when we'd found all the silver birch trees, each silver birch tree had a letter in it, a sort of wooden letter, spray painted orange. And we had to collect all the letters and then make a word. And we submitted the word, having found 10 out of 11 of them and worked out what the 11th one was. And we won a prize. We got a lovely sort of booklet about trees and shrubs from the Friends of Cannon Hill Common. So thank you to the Friends of Cannon Hill Common. What an absolute treat that was on a rather wet and miz half-term holiday day. Thank you for walking with me, dear friends. Cannot really express how helpful it is to be able to do this and to have to do this and to have committed to do this with you every day of the working week. It is an absolute tonic, and I feel just 1,000,000,000% better for having walked for 10 minutes in the middle of this day. I hope you are having a reasonable day yourself. I hope you're getting out for a walk now and again. And I hope you're enjoying Walk the Pod. And you're walking, wherever you're walking. So thank you for listening. I look forward to bringing you episode 8 tomorrow. Take care of your beautiful mind. Until then.